This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
The sun is out, the sky is blue, the elephants are playing in the water. Welcome to this live safari. Good afternoon and welcome to the Sunset Safari here at Prrivate. We are sitting at Ndlovu Dam right outside the Eco Training Camp watching a bunch of grey giants quench their thirst on a very hot afternoon. Well, it's actually not too hot. I say this and I'm already wearing a jacket. My name is Taylor McCurdy and on camera with me today is Gert. And remember that for the first 45 minutes of every single show, we dedicate it to the kids all around the world. So remember to send your questions through to kidsquestions@wildearth.tv. But send the rest of them in #WildEarth and we'll get to them a little bit later. So, children, what questions do you have for me today? Hopefully there'll be something about the elephants. Maybe it is your first time watching us. Maybe you've just discovered WildEarth. And if you have, let us know. Get your parents to help you and ask the questions for you. But it would be great to get to know you all. We've had a whole lot of elephants here, and they've been doing different things. That one was drinking water. There's another elephant that's just had a big old scratch on a tree. He had an itchy bottom, but is now walking away. I wonder where he's going. I think he might be catching up with the other elephant bulls that were just here. They always do this every afternoon. I want to show you swimming elephants, and then they swim, 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 and then they disappear. But maybe there's another group of elephants coming around. I think there were actually some more behind us, but we'll look for them a little bit later. Here we have one of the smaller elephants at the dam. He's not going anywhere. He doesn't seem to want to have too much fun either. He's very, very thirsty. He's twisting his trunk around. Let's see if he stirs his trunk in the water to find the nice clean stuff, or if he's just going to drink it straight away. Nope, doesn't like that. See how he did that? Slurped a little bit up. I was going to say spat it out, but squirted it out. And then grabbed another trunkful. Debbie, my day wouldn't be complete if it didn't consist of having elephants in the afternoon. Oh, now he's going to climb all the way up that steep bank. You can see how much effort he has to put into it. Sometimes they go onto their knees, and I think that's what that elephant has just done. There are much easier ways to climb up that wall, the dam wall, but it's always entertaining when they go that way around. And now he's hiding behind a tree. Cheeky elephant. They actually came right into camp today. Some of them were standing around some of the students' tents. There were definitely some people worried that they were going to take their laundry off of the washing line. But it's not just me taking you on this virtual safari. Off we go across to Djuma in the Sabi sand, where Tswalu is going to show you all sorts of wonderful things.
It is, in fact, myself, also on virtual safari with all of you guys. How are you? I hope that you're well. I'm so glad that Djuma is a little warmer. Hello, everyone. It's me. It's Tswalu, and I've got BK on camera this afternoon. And we are just cruising, I think, mostly. Enjoying the weather and the sounds of the bush. Let's listen together. How perfect was that? We started listening. I don't know if you heard the wow. Just off that way. So that sounded like an alarm call, but it was quite far. Actually sounded a bit like a baboon. They sound very human when they go, wow. Oh, hello, gorgeous. Sorry, I didn't see you there. I didn't see you there. You're busy chomping right behind this bush. It's a lovely Ellie taking advantage of some buffalo though. You can actually hear it chewing. Let's listen. Sounds like this little guy has some family nearby. I can hear them, but I can't see them. That must be a very tasty bush. He's right at the edge of the road. Behind that bush. What an elephantastic start of drive we've had. Oh, did you hear that sigh? Now the Ellies would like this weather quite a bit. It's about 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit here in Djuma. So they don't have to flap their ears too much. But the occasional flap does just fine. And you're gonna move so the kids can see you. You could hide behind that bush. Hide. And what I love about an elephant being this close and this comfortable is that you can hear everything. And if you come to Africa and you're out here on safari, these are the sounds you will be able to hear. It's like you're right here with me and this elephant. And the fly that you can probably hear buzzing around. Hi, Tessa and Matthew. You'd like to know if animals have a taste buds like we do. They do. They do have taste buds. But the types of taste buds they have can be quite different. Find the rest of its family. Off it slinks into the bush. Isn't that awesome? Let's go find the rest of the family. I'm sure they're in this very nice block here. Quite a large block, so we're just gonna have to take a chance, but I am fine with that. So some animals lack taste receptors for sour, some lack taste receptors for sweet, and it all comes down to whether it's important for those animals to be able to taste certain things. For example, primates and animals that eat fruit, they have very well developed taste buds for sweet and sour, because it's important for them to use those receptors to get information about whether the fruit that they're eating is ripe and good and full of nutrients, or whether it's sour. So it all depends on what's going to help that animal survive. That's the way that nature works. Anyway, Taylor has a whole lot of ants, and I'm sure that they do have a taste for sweetness.
I thought you were going to say maybe she's got ants in her pants. Thankfully, I don't, but I might in a minute. So we are looking at some ants. And I don't know if you can see it, but can you see that there is a pathway that the ants are walking on? So I'm just going to go down a little bit. You'll notice that they've made a sort of runway over here. And I think it's incredible that such a small creature can make a really big pathway, a really big impact. But these are called harvester ants. And normally they walk in a straight line on the pathway that I was just telling you about. But they seem to be moving quite erratically now, but that might be because I was walking around here. And if you look very carefully, I'm going to point to these ones over here, you can see that they're carrying bits of grass. So they're harvesting the last of the grass seeds before winter starts. I suppose it's very clever that they're called harvester ants then. They're also not to be confused with the pugnacious ants, because they look quite similar to these, except their movements are very erratic, so they run around in all sorts of different directions, and they also are carnivorous. They don't just feed on vegetation like the harvester ants do. So you can see them here. Now, there's something else that I want to show you. Can you see this little hole in the ground? So, that is a little conical pit, and that's made by an antlion, which is actually a ferocious little creature, a little insect, and it is the larval stage, what will turn into an adult antlion. It kind of looks like a dragonfly with floppy wings. Careful now, because as the antlion's name suggests, they eat ants. But it doesn't look like it's a very big one that's in here, and these ants are quite large. But essentially they make a very steep little pit. Actually, Gert, I found a better one. Can we see this one that's just behind it? Is that a little bit better? So there we go. You can see it's a little bit steeper. And normally it will be like little small ants that will walk through here and then they'll slide on down. And this creature with huge mandibles, with big mouth parts, will grab hold of the ant and then devour it. So it's like a little sand trap in here. And if the ant tries to escape, the little creature inside will actually flick out sand and bring the ant down. But I don't think that that's going to happen over here. And then there's something else I'm going to show you. I'm going to stand up, not to squash the ant pathway. It's incredible. It runs all the way into camp. I wonder what else they're collecting. Just going to go here quickly. You can't, unfortunately, see the hole because I haven't parked very well. But I'm going to come to you with all of this. Can you see this stuff? So this is basically the husks from the seeds that the ants have brought back to their mound, and they've cleaned the seeds up nicely, and then they're very good. They don't want to have all the rubbish on the inside of their mound, so they bring it, and this is all stacked on the outside here. So you've got some ants that are out working and harvesting and collecting food and bringing it back, and then you'll have other ants that have a different role, and that probably means that they have to pull away at the outside of the seed and then put the seeds in a different pile, and then there'll be another worker that will take this and dump it outside, which I think is really quite cool. But I'm going to let it go. Also, really good to test the wind with. Straight into my nice clean car. Anyway, so that's quite nice. And if you are very fascinated by insects and things like that, go and follow the ants at home. I used to do that a lot as a kid, and I still actually do it to this day. Right. My ants were very exciting to me, but I know something that is going to make you smile from ear to ear is Rowan, because he's got a leopard.
Ah, that was the perfect timing. Good afternoon, everyone. and welcome to andBeyond Ngala. You are with me, Rowan, and then of course OD behind the camera. And what we wanted to do this morning, and we never actually got around to it, is come check what the Ngala female and her cub is up to. So there's still a little bit left of the carcass. It's a bushbuck carcass just to the left of this leopard. So from this angle it looks like this is the cub, Ngala female's female cub. You can see the nose is still very, very pink, just sleeping in the tree in the scotia. But she's been facing the other direction the entire time until you guys came across to us, and now she's facing us. She's actually very, very nice. But you can see, look, very sleepy. Be quite nice and cool in the shade, and looks very comfortable on the branch here. Although I must say the stomach looks rather big. I think she has feet, or she's been feeding recently. Because, I mean, judging from here, it's tough to see the carcass. It was also very tough to spot this leopard, by the way. But OD did a phenomenal job. There's maybe a leg and a head left of the carcass of the bushbuck, but not too much. No, so sorry, we're just discussing whether we can show it on camera, but I think there's just too much of this tree in the frame. If we try swing that way, a little bit tough. Good spot for a leopard to hide though. We're not too sure where the mom is. It's very possible that she's actually at the base of the tree in the long grass. Susie is saying that this is a stunning leopard. Susie, we've had an incredible day, I'll be honest. This is leopard number 3 for us for today, and of course the third young leopard again. So just like the other 2 that we saw this morning, this one is just about 14 months old. It's about half a month younger than the 2 leopards that we found this morning. So absolutely just an incredible day for us. Oh, there we go. Something's attracting her attention. And look at those beautiful eyes. Okay, of course you're going to lie down with your head to the other side. So we're actually going to loop around and check if we can have a better view from the other side. But for now, we're going to send you to Tswalu with her dust bathing elephant.
It is I, Tswalu, and I do have elephants. We found the rest of the herd, and they are dust bathing, and they seem to be making some noise as well. But this one is standing very still, listening. Now sometimes you can actually feel them communicating, not just hear them. And that's because they communicate in what we call an infrasonic range. That's below our hearing threshold, so we can hear sound between about 20 and 200 hertz, while they communicate at ranges between about 13 and 35. So below our hearing. There we have one that's just having a bit of a midday nap. I am all for midday naps, so this elephant and I will get along very well. Lugging around a huge body is not easy. So it's nice to just have a lie down every now and then, especially if you're feeling good and safe. The rest of your herd is around you. There's another one nearby flailing, just at the head of this elephant. Not that at all by its herd mate, trying to get its attention and play. You'll just see the edges of it. There's there behind the bush, flailing about. Oh, wake up. I need to play. Too sweet. get up, they use their trunk to kind of swing weight for momentum to lift themselves up. There's the bodyguards of these two that are lazing. And I'm gonna grab that one again from you. I heard elephants and cats, and I thought I heard fat elephants being bad for cats or something like that, but Emma's gonna give it to me again. Oh, that one just looked like it did a mic drop there when it dropped that branch. Oh. Perchance you say that the flat cats have been a bad influence for the elephants. Clearly, that is what has been going on. Come on. You need some help to get up. I'll help you. I feel like this is one of the blind leading the blind situation going on here. Hi, Show. You'd like to know, do elephants always hide behind bushes? And if so, why? They don't always hide behind bushes. Sometimes they fall asleep in the middle of the road. Sometimes they pass through straight in front of the vehicle, especially if you're patient and you wait for them and you can see what direction they're moving in. And if they choose to come towards you, then they do. Synchronized getting up here. I've made it. Come on, Slowpoke. And off they go. So I show elephants don't always hide behind bushes. In fact, when an elephant deliberately hides behind a bush, it's actually not a good sign. And I've always felt, I'm just going to move a little bit further ahead so we can see them through the gap. I've always felt when I'm in a tricky position with elephants and I'm unsure about my safety, and you should always treat a situation as potentially dangerous because you can never assume anything about animals. You don't know what this animal's experience was in the day. Maybe it had a car being really intrusive and now it doesn't like cars for today because it's a little bit irritated. We don't know what it's been through in one day or in its lifetime, so we don't want to just assume things about them. So you always approach elephants with a bit of caution, and usually it's fine. The usual things, stretching out the ears and making themselves look large, the tail sticking out stiff, those are good indications that an elephant's not happy. But I have found that in a situation when I find myself feeling most threatened, it's when an elephant decides that it purposely wants to hide behind a bush. Because then it's trying to conceal itself. And when it tries to conceal itself and still has that aggressive energy about it, for me, it really feels like it means business. Ellies all around, people, all around. The tailor also has some ellies, and that one's definitely not trying to hide behind a bush.
No, it isn't hiding behind a bush, and you won't believe how close this elephant was to us. It was so close. But now he's got his bottom turned towards us. And he's just feasting on some branches. But he's moving away, unfortunately. Munching about, having something delicious to feed on. I don't know why he was so cheeky. It's a young bull. He actually came right up to the car and he shook his head at us And at one point I thought he was going to try and touch us with his tusks, but he didn't. He just kind of stood there and looked at us. He was really, really close. And Gert, who is on camera with me, is sitting so high up. He was almost looking down onto this little elephant. It was unusual. Normally, of course, you don't get to look down on the elephant, but we're surrounded by a big breeding herd, so I'm hoping to find a little sneaky link road that goes in towards where the elephants are feeding so that we can sort of be one with the elephants this afternoon. I think Trishala and I both enjoy spending time with these lovely animals. Like I always say, it's like therapy. It's like if you were to come home and play with your dogs and they're excited to see you. I don't know if the elephants are excited to see us, but I'm definitely very excited to see them. Perhaps it's more like a cat and a human relationship, one-sided. Bob, if I could be any animal, I really would be an elephant because they don't stop eating. They eat for up to 19 hours a day, and I reckon sometimes even a little bit longer. You've even seen them multitasking. They will be defecating and urinating and still reaching for a trunk full of grass, or, they'll be in the water splashing about and there might be a nice overhanging tree and they'll stretch on up and grab a mouthful of that too. So, no, they continuously eat, but they have to. We discuss about it all the time that they don't have very good digestive systems and they need to eat lots and lots and lots. And you can see that from their dung. And then remember, they defecate very regularly. If an elephant is eating properly, every hour or so it will be dropping a big pile of steaming poop. Oh, we might watch it happen. No, just passing some wind. Not today. Gert, is that road off behind us? There's a sneaky link road that I'm looking for, and I'm thinking if I reverse, is it back there that goes? It does go back there in here. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to practice my reversing skills. We all know it's my favorite thing to do, because what you can't see is that way. I was going to try and turn around the other way. Is basically there's a whole breeding herd. This is uncomfortable. It's not natural to turn that side, but I shall try so that I can look at you and reverse. It's a very, very big herd of elephants, so I'm excited to see who wants to play with us. Right, Steve has been hiding away, but he's back. He's here, and he's ready to say hello.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. How are we doing? Welcome to my vehicle. My name is Steve, joined by Darby. She's still on camera, and very excited to have you with us. We are coming to you currently live from Tswalu Private Game Reserve in the Sabi Sands, and, well, we are very excited to have you on board. Now, we just popped over to Tswalu because, because we can. Tswalu is a property that goes onto the western side from where we normally have Djuma. And we found some lion tracks and a leopard track. And we're trying to figure out what's going on. But at the moment, it's nice just to be out and about. It's a wonderful afternoon. So I'm going to be looking for some birds this afternoon for all of you. And see what other small little interesting things we can find along the way. Sorry about that. But the lions came in last night. Yesterday morning, we tracked them into this property, and they've been up and down this road after some buffalo. We've just checked a watering hole. They weren't there, so we're going to check another watering hole, see if they've maybe materialized there. Normally, water is a very good place to check if you want to find animals, because they all have to drink, especially when it's warm. They get quite thirsty. And they didn't drink at that last watering hole, which means that they were hunting buffalo all night, and they're probably lying up somewhere on that side. We'll see if we can maybe figure out where. Be in touch with the guys on the radio from this side of the world and see what they're up to. Maybe they were actually able to track them down this morning. Radio is a very useful tool for communicating with other people. We've got a very large area to cover. Obviously, if you want to maximize the ability to find animals, the radio is the way forward. Taylor wants to do some birding. Excited to do some birding between finding lines. Well, Taylor, I hope to oblige. We are always keeping our eyes peeled for birds, and it's actually sometimes the easiest way to bird is when we're live, because if we see a bird can frame it, obviously many birds fly away very quickly. So if we have to wait to come back, often they fly away. Hello, little testicular, I can hear you. Some of them aren't very easy to see, though. He's gone through the back there. A little rattling his testicular. I can't see him, though. Makes a very nice, loud alarm call. That, boys and girls, in the birding world is called pshing, spelled P-S-S-H-H-H. Basically, what you're doing is you are mimicking an alarm call, which many birds respond to. They'll often respond to an alarm call and come out and also shout. And then you could get them coming out, especially those ones that are very cryptically colored and hiding. But you mustn't do it too much. You mustn't do it in the breeding season all the time as well, because you have the potential to attract breeding females and males off of their nest. So there's always ethics involved in birding. But we're going to be looking in the trees for birds, but hopefully we get to spot a leopard too, just like Rowan has.
We came around and we found the mom, the Ngala female. So she is basically 10 meters away, maybe 12 meters away from the tree that her youngster's in, just resting, just sleeping it off. The youngster is about 10 meters away from us, nearly at eye level. It's actually quite cool, because the scotia droops over the river. So you could just make out the youngsters, the tail, the paws and everything hanging down there. And then we've got a hyena lying down behind us somewhere, waiting for his little bits and pieces. There's really not too much left of the carcass at all. It's basically just hanging on skin. So yeah, not too much left there at all. But of course I'll try finish all of it. Don't let anything go to waste, because she doesn't know when the next meal is going to come around, when she can. I mean, she'll probably, in all essence, try hunt again maybe tonight or tomorrow. But for now, be happy with this and just try finish all of it. So life is a little bit tougher for her. You can see the hyena there in the background. Waiting for his little bits. Of course, he can't climb this tree either. It's a little bit too high for him. In essence, that's why leopards take their carcasses up a tree, is to try hide it away from scavengers or the predators. And it's a good tree for her. It's got a very thick crown, so there's not really any vultures that can see it and swoop down and then draw the attention of other predators. Don't know if you remember 4 days ago when we had all the vultures come down on an Impala carcass, and this alerted the lions to where this Impala carcass was, and then the lions rushed in, and it was just one predator after the other that had a turn at this carcass. So here, luckily, the leopards are keeping it for themselves. This mom is awake again, staring at us. Beautiful eyes. Very, very, very pretty eyes. She looks quite a bit like her mom. So she's the offspring of the black dam female. Put her head down again. Just every now and then glimpses in this direction. I think also just to make sure that the hyena isn't coming closer. Be much safer in the tree. Although the hyena's not really here to attack the leopard. The hyena's here for really to try get a bit of the carcass rather than kill the leopard and eat that. See, the belly's quite full as well. Bit of a bulge going there. She was just cleaning herself, and I always find it so amazing how clean they are. Ruby's saying these leopards look pretty chilled considering, take a ... So considering the circumstances, considering that there's a hyena here, and considering myself and OD are sitting so close to them. You can see her head, she raises her head every now and then just to look around. And yeah, this is exactly what she was doing when we just got around to this place. But now, oh, there we go, head down again. Looks quite comfy. I think the grass must be quite soft there. But it always just amazes me how clean they are, how white the bottom of the stomach and all of that is, considering they spend their entire lives out here in the bush. You can see that ear flicking, just being irritated by flies constantly. I think that's why she keeps licking and waking up. But yeah, good find. He just reminded me leopard number 4 for the day. I think we've done well. Owen's also saying she could win a competition with those whiskers. I must say, she's, yeah, very delicate looking leopard. Very, very pretty. Looks to me like she's wearing eyeliner or mascara, the darker one. And I think her little female is going to be just as pretty. Also very slight, small head, beautiful features. I was quite excited to see, I mean, I'll definitely be here to see them grow up. Can't wait. The youngster looks very chilled, very, very, very relaxed. I think paws draped nearly on all sides of the branch, the tail hanging back down the branch. I think he's even got his front or her front left paw draped over another branch, so the paw's actually hanging down where the arm is up, if you know what I mean. Nice, comfy, shady spot there. Well done, Ngala female. Good area for carcass. So I think a lot of the kids are saying this is a great leopard tree. I have to agree, it is. I mean, photographically, no. For us, it's not the best, but for them, it is. It honestly is. And I must admit that sometimes when they are successful with making a kill, they'll drag it past the most incredible trees and, put it in a horrible tree. Like a small, I don't know, just weird tree. You wouldn't think they would actually stash their carcass in there rather than a tree right next to it, which is beautiful and high and great. But she's chosen well, I must say. I agree with all the kids. It is indeed a great leopard tree. See, the youngster's slowly waking up now, cleaning its paw. Oh, excuse me, cat allergies. Okay, so we're going to sit here for a while. Maybe this youngster, while it's licking itself, so maybe it comes down. But for now, I'll send you back over to Trish, who's at, I think, a watering hole with a beautiful Hammerkop.
Hi, Am, and you are about to see a Hammerkop. Oh, it's been good to us. It was just about to take that corner and get out of sight after basically traversing half of the dam's water's edge. Let's see if we can catch up with it further down. It's on a mission to find some food. They like some nice big aquatic animals. I've seen them with huge frogs in their mouths. Let's just roll down so we don't scare the Hammerkop. Oh, there we go. Really nice silhouette there. You can see very clearly the shape of the bird and why it's called a Hammerkop. There's the kop, or the head. Looks like a hammer. Oh, did you catch something? Can you see it using its feet to flush out any invertebrates that are just beneath the soil there? Now it's got a pectinated middle toe, which basically means that it's comb-like, so it helps even more to move aside sediment so that it can get any invertebrates that are tucked just below it. Those are just some arrow-marked babblers babbling in the background. Cassie, you say this bird is actually really cute. Are there any that aren't? Oh, I feel like it's showing off with those types of tricks. You know, when you throw something out and you catch it with your mouth. I'm sure that thing has a name, that type of trick. Looks like it was showing off there. Show us again. Now I'm waiting here around the water because the elephants that we had earlier are not too far off. Oh, just gorgeous. And I think this Hammerkop has a good idea by trying to get as much food as it can before the elephants come and visit. But also the elephants might upset the sediment even more than it could possibly imagine. It could get very many invertebrates. Tasty morsels indeed. All right, well, I'm going to send you over to Phinda, andBeyond's Phinda. They have some lions for you, so let's go and see.
Good afternoon, everyone. That is Djuma from andBeyond Phinda Private Game Reserve. As you can see, we are right in a nice, beautiful place. We are actually planning now this afternoon. We're looking for pride of lion. If you look far at distance, you'll be able to see just a single lion at the moment. And if you look on the right hand side of there, there's another two. I'm not quite sure how many lions are here, but we'll take a look and see as soon as we recognize or work together. Okay, enjoy your sighting. Stay with us. We'll be here for a little while. Your question, Mary. Yeah, it hasn't been that very windy today. It's just picking up now. Maybe like 15 minutes ago. It was all beautiful day today, Mary. Another lioness lying, but it's very difficult to see because the grasses look very similar to her. And also in our right hand side, there is another young male is just lying to the thicket here. Maybe later on he's going to get up and walk. Tough view, but Marcel is going to try to see if he can zoom it out for you guys. But just around in the bushes right over there, quite difficult one. They were being some Impala, but they ran away from them because it's pretty much open up here. They picked it up and the wind was supporting the Impala and they ran away quite easily. And it looks beautiful afternoon. Peter, yeah, these lines, very peaceful. As you can see, they get to use us a lot. That's why they're more peaceful like that. Okay guys, we have some wildebeest in a far distance, in our left, in an open area in this grass here. But we'll stay here for a little while and we'll send you across to guys with the leopard there. Run.
Good luck, Dooms. We've also got two very lazy cats. Since everyone left, they've not lifted their heads at all. Actually, the youngster every now and then is moving its head, I think just trying to get into a more comfortable position. And winning at the task, actually. So, it seems it is the end of the Kiddies Drive. So everyone else is more than welcome to send through their question and comment at #WildEarth on Twitch and Twitter, and then at FC if you're watching through YouTube. Of course, this doesn't mean the kids can't send through the question. They can continue doing so, please, if you wish. But it is indeed the end of the kiddies section for the afternoon safari. The hyena left. That's pretty much all that happened. So we heard the grass crackle. The mom looked up once, not even for very long, and then the hyena just strolled off. I don't think he went too far. I think he might have just looked for a better shady spot. Might actually be right behind the vehicle, I don't know, I'm not too sure. But the leopards are still just very, very chilled. They're quite a hard tree to look into because of the sun. It's right behind the scotia, so it's right behind the youngster. I think the sun flare might be a bit hard to focus on. So we're going to focus on the mom for a bit. Even her, as you can imagine, and I was saying it this morning, but yeah, you could walk past 5 meters away from this leopard and you won't see her. She's lying in the grass like that. Especially if her back is facing you. You might see a bit of white on the stomach if you come from this side. Susie, oh there we go, heads up. She's being irritated by a fly. You could actually see how she's shaking or vibrating her skin. Susie's asking, must a leopard cub learn to climb a tree, or is it instinctual? Susie, I can imagine it's instinctual. I think, having sharp claws and things like that, I think it's just something they try by themselves. You could see the same thing with the lion cubs as well. They haven't ever watched, especially with the Birmingham, now that we have the very small youngsters and the older cubs, the youngsters just try to climb a tree by themselves, having never seen the other youngsters try to do it. So I think it's just very instinctual for them to know they are cats and they climb trees. I don't know if, Susie, maybe if you have your own domestic cat, it's not like you went and taught it how to climb a tree. It's just by itself. It kind of knew I can climb a tree, and so it tries it. We often get the question, how old must a leopard be to be able to climb a tree? And I think I've seen a 7-week-old leopard already climbing trees. So very, very, very quick to learn. Not a big tree like this. So I've never seen a 7-week-old leopard climb a tree like this. But climbing small branches, small trees, and can definitely, the claws are sharp enough to get up. They are strong enough to carry their own body weight at even that age. They're just incredible creatures, incredible animals. I wish this youngster would turn around and face us. And we thought it might have that idea, because it wasn't really getting comfortable. Every now and then it shifts and then it licks a paw, cleans it a little bit, and so me and Odie, we were thinking that maybe she's going to turn around and face us, but just not keen for it yet. So this would be a great spot to sit if she does decide to go eat. We're nearly, or be a little bit lower than her. It would be a great view because the branch is bending quite clearly in front of us. But for now, look, she's trying to. Both back legs are gripping onto something. Come, girl. So it's amazing that she is so relaxed, that she's so relaxed with us now. But if you find her and there's no carcass in the area, she runs away. Emma was saying she does not look comfortable at all. So of course this is Emma in FC. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Em. Who still owes us a cake, and I think Emma, your mom Linda Openshaw, would agree that this cake needs to come soon. I think she looks rather comfortable. I don't know, actually. Some of those branches might be poking in the wrong areas. I love it how a leopard could drape itself over a branch like that. I love seeing the paws hang down. It makes me giggle every time. Amazing how comfortable they can make some branches look. But not this one at this stage, clearly not. You can see the back legs are up again. Oh, come turn around. Thinking about it, her head's up. No. She's actually draping her head to the side now, to the left-hand side, and resting it on a paw. I think a matter of time, and then she'll come down the tree. Of course, it's more comfortable for them to sleep on the ground rather than a tree. But it's safer, especially for the youngster, to be in the tree than on the ground. The hyena would much rather attack a youngster than a fully grown female. Ooh. I think she's looking for a pillow. She's now got her head on one of the branches sticking out of the main branch. That doesn't look comfortable. It's like her whole spine is twisting to the left. Okay. Well, like I was saying, I think it'd be more comfortable on the ground. Seems like Doomsy's lions are all very comfortable on the ground, so we're going to send you back over to him.
Welcome back, guys. As you can see, we are still here. We still have that lioness over right. She's just lying down. Still haven't moved yet. But yeah, we're hoping they're gonna move anytime by now. Never say never. Yeah, looks like they're very much relaxed, as you can see them. And the sun is shining direct to her beautifully. As you can see, they don't really worry about anything. As you can see, all they're lying down. Earlier on, when you guys are not around, there was some warthog just running across, because it's pretty much open here. So we're just waiting to see any more action happening around here, because it's very nice open grass land here, as you can see. Good question, Carol, because we were trying to figure out earlier on to see how many at the moment, because sometimes you can find all in this pride together will be supposed to be 6 lions here. We already counted 5, because there's a tall grass around here. There must be more still lying on the grass, but we're looking at 5 of them together. Should be 5, all of them. Carol. It's amazing to see they're all lying down, no problem, not even bothered by the flies. Right. Yeah, it looks, the color is amazing, especially with the sun shining direct to her. It looks even more gorgeous. Luckily, we are facing in a southern direction. If you look from a far distance, quite a few cloudy, but the weather might change later, but still difficult to tell. Oh, look, she's up now. Oh, what she's doing? It must be a fly or something small bothering her. I'm not too sure, but could be anything like small ants. But now she's up, or could be there's lizard or something. But now looks like she's coming back towards us. Oh yeah, lovely sunlight directing to it. Dacian, that there is especially this particular pride. They have a huge territory. They can easily cover 7,000 to 8,000 hectares. This pride, the way they can move, which is quite a big place for this pride, and sometimes they can cover like half of that. For one night when they're hunting. It's quite a big, actually, that's territory for the lions. Wow, looks like these lions are going back into the grass again. As you can see, the view is quite difficult to see them now. We'll send it to Charlotte with the elephant. Enjoy the.
They're coming out of the woodwork. My elephants are, and there's a very interesting individual there on the right. She is tuskless. I think that's very interesting. It's the first tuskless female that I've seen around. In fact, it's the first tuskless elephant that I've seen around. It is more frequent in females than in males. I just wanted to move a little bit so we can have a good look. She's a little bit nervous. Everyone else is very relaxed, and when she came in, they all started rumbling. Oh, on that side they're listening. There's 3 of them that are very, very still. She should start moving soon, because the other one's moving. There we go. I'd love for her to move.
Sorry about that. It seems that Trish has frozen. It doesn't often happen. Anyway, these leopards are also still pretty much frozen. Yeah, not too much movement. I mean, the youngster every now and then still moves and try to get to a comfy spot, but literally, me and Odie, we've been sitting here almost, urging it on. Come, turn around, turn around, turn around, and still, she has not turned around. But maybe when the sun starts dropping, hopefully she gets a little bit hungry. And yeah, no, you see like false little alarms every now and then. You can just see the movement of the tail and the back legs. Mom's still not moved. She looks up every now and then, gets irritated with a fly, and then goes back to sleep. Otherwise, not too much changing here on andBeyond in Ngala. So Barney and Sean, I dropped them off, and they are tracking a pride of lions. It seems that the pride whose tracks we had this morning was in fact the Mbiri pride, and they are busy trying to work out where exactly they went. Quite fun to see the Mbiri pride. We usually actually only see them in the south of the reserve. Quite nice if they are around here. We think the Birmingham pride walked nearly straight through our whole property. The last tracks we had of them was a lot further north and west. So I'm not too sure what Sean's plans are for the morning, but we might head in that direction. I find it hilarious how this young female is deciding to place her head every now and then. We'll try to give you a better view a little bit later. Just don't want to start the vehicle now with both of them sleeping. I think what might happen is you'll startle them and give them a bit of... the sun makes it so tough to show. It's also tough to find. You can see the leg there and just see a few spots. But yeah, we were saying, so Barney found them yesterday because a hyena was at the base of the tree, but we were just talking about that, and Eddie was saying if the hyena wasn't here, we probably wouldn't have found them, because there's no sign of any drag mark or, no clear tracks. Actually, no, today we said that there were actually clear tracks on that side, going that direction and then coming back. So they might have gone to that side of the river, come back, just gone for a drink. But I mean, otherwise, even driving past here, you could barely see that carcass, and we knew it was in the area. And as we were driving on, literally just spotted a tail, a spot of a tail in the tree. Very, very, very well hidden. Mama is getting very irritated with flies. See the ear keep twitching, twitching, twitching. She's actually starting to use a paw every now and then to swipe at the fly. I can tell you now, if this was a male leopard, he would be biting at the fly. He gets super aggressive. Dove is asking, do leopards' feet, so I'm assuming the pads turn back to white, or do they stay black? So Dove, they stay black as part of the pigmentation of a leopard, so they'll be dark throughout their lifetime. It actually might even get a little bit darker as they grow older. But yeah, no, they'll never turn back to white. If you are referring to the pads at the bottom of the feet, which I think you are referring to, those are going to stay dark forever. Yeah, you might actually get a better view of the youngster's pad. There we go. I think that's what you are referring to. So it doesn't matter how much they clean them, they're going to stay dark or black. Actually, both of these leopards have very, very, very small feet. We're saying we've often confused Ngala female's tracks with that of a youngster, thinking there's a young leopard in the area, and she's very, very small leopard, very slightly built. And I think the same thing's going to happen with her young cub, the one hanging so uncomfortably in a tree but refusing to move for us. Well, you can't have everything. I'd say absolutely wonderful to be able to spend this much time with two leopards that are actually quite notorious for being unrelaxed. Okay, it seems Trish is unfrozen and still enjoying her elephant, so we're going to send you back over there.
Well, elephants are moving quite slowly, but there's some action happening in the world. Our tuskless female has moved away, but interestingly, she has an injury on her trunk. She's coming back. I want you to keep a close eye on her trunk. They're getting a little bit nervous after hearing the shouting. But her trunk has a bit of a hole on one side. Sorry about our aerial there, guys, but they've all moved behind us. Hello, you. Are you going to join in the dust bathing? See that trunk there? Can you see that edge? It's got a sort of, as if it had been ripped and then healed up again. I'm just going to turn around because they're walking quite nicely into the sunset. Here's Tuskless looking at us. I'm just going to keep a little far. I'm going to be back like this. I'm just going to watch from here because something's making him a little bit nervous. Can you see the tails are out? Sassy Cassie, you'd like to know if elephants are quite moody animals? I wouldn't say they're moody. I think that they are very sensitive. And then that affects their mood. But they're never moody for no reason. Something's been bothering them, or they're feeling a little threatened. That's when they're usually, quote-unquote, moody. I have a feeling there may be a male down in that drainage that is pursuing. Wow. This is just awesome. They're looking in our direction now. Stunning. Beautiful light, beautiful bush, vegetation, and these amazing, amazing animals. They're truly one of my favorite things to see out here. And if you love them as much as I do, which I'm sure you guys do after spending so much time with them, please help us and help yourself to continue spending time with them by going over to our support page so we can keep bringing these live safaris to you. And I just keep swinging my head around, waiting to see the male that comes bolting out of the bush in a way that resembles someone in a club saying to you, "No, please, please, I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you." No, I'm not. I don't have any plan. I just want to say hi. Can I not just say hi? That is the exact exact mood when they come out pursuing, because they're not running as in to gun down the female. It's a very gentle kind of, no, don't go, I just want to talk. Well, she's kind of like, nope, I know exactly what you were after and I'm not interested. Hi, guys. There's still some more coming out from hi. From the drainage. Hello, Special. Hi. Do you know me? I know you. Love it. Just love it. It is. It's a beautiful, beautiful scene. We still have some more streaming out of some more wati. Oh, going after that African wattle with the trunk stretched straight up. Gorgeous. This, everybody, is how I love to spend my afternoon. Just gorgeous. This is the African view. It is that sunset, this light pouring through all this vegetation and these glorious animals in the background. Marvelous. Sir 50, you agree with me. You say beautiful indeed. Just this calm, content beauty. Stunning, right? Just awesome. Well, there's some also on this side, but I may need to turn around. I'm going to send you over to Doomy, who's got another beautiful, quintessential African scene.
Welcome back, guys. We are still here with these beautiful lions. As you can see, they're just still lying down flat. But if you look, one of the lions is just lying there. She's just shaking her head just now. She's just been bothering by these flies. As you can see, they doesn't look like they want to move anywhere for now. And when I look at this lion, when that young lioness does that, she reminds me one of the time when you find the lions climbing up on a tree. It's trying to stay away from a lot of flies around. And also when it's very, very hot. I've seen a couple of times, like a whole pride, they were up on a tree, tracking them on the ground, and suddenly we find them sitting up on a tree, which was it was amazing to see. Some people, they wonder if the lion can climb on a tree, but they do. They can climb if it is necessary. You can see, just keep on licking. You can see the skin keep on moving on her back because of these flies. They hate flies, the lions. Most of the cats hate. I think I got. I hope I got your name right. This time of the year, especially when it's very cold, less flies. But depending where in the area where we are, because this area is quite a lot of wildebeest. Most of the flies they were born in like a rhino or elephant dung, you still find few of the flies, but not so many. Mostly in the summer, we don't get so many flies at this time of the year, but a little bit. Hope we got that. Look, she's yawning. She might get up or turning her. Oh, she's just licking herself, cleaning herself. We got a video of actually 5, including the other one is just behind it. You can't see it, but altogether there's 6. Yeah, which is all numbers here of these lines. It look lovely here. If you look up on a hillside, it's still nice, sun shining. If anything comes around there, these animals, they'll be able to see it quite clearly. But only difficult for them will be the wind direction, because they are actually upwind. Anything comes that side, it might pick up their scent and then run away from them. Like the warthog came earlier. He did pick their scent and then he ran away from them. I'll just scan up there, see what I've got. Could be a log. No, just a log. If you look at it, it looks like this is dump. It looks like a face of a leopard looking at them, but it's not really. I was a bit excited. And then one of the young male lying there, you can see his belly. Yeah, they're just lying nice and flat for now. While we're still waiting for them to see what they're up to, we'll let you guys enjoying with Taylor, also with the line, trying to find the line there. Enjoy the.
We have, but Djuma, you'll soon learn that I get distracted severely. We've got some zebra now, so we are on our way to find our lions again. But we have found these 2 zebra, and I'm just trying to figure out if they're stallions. One looks like a stallion, the other one might be a mare. Where's my binoculars? Let me use those here. I suppose that's why I have them. But anyways, we've got 2 lovely Birchall zebras just feeding in the grass. There doesn't seem to be any more of them. And I think I saw these 2 yesterday wandering about in the tall, tawny grass. They might be on their way to Leopard Dam to have a drink. That's sort of the general direction that they're heading in. But be careful, there are lions about. I think it must be the most bizarre thing to see if you came on safari for the first time, to see a zebra with its coloration out in the bush. Just considering, all the colors of the other animals. Black and white. Really does, when they're out in the open like this, stand out like a sore thumb. But when they're all together, they blend in nicely. They all look like one animal. I don't know if you've ever seen that when they run round in a herd. It's quite confusing. Oh, careful of that tree. Has that got thorns on? Or are you just going to have a scratch? Oh no, you're lucky. That's not a... Oh no, it is. It's a knobthorn. Now, the tree that just sort of hooked on the hide is a knobthorn. It's a small one. It's bent over, probably pushed down by the elephants. Zebras don't have as thick skin as something like an elephant or a buffalo or a rhino. So I'd imagine that must be quite sore when they get hooked on a buffalo thorn or a knobthorn. Not wasting too much time there, though. heads down and just feasting in the grass. I'm going to go up ahead because we've kind of lost visual of them now. They've moved quite far off the road, so we shall just carry on driving. So something exciting to look out for on my favorite road in the whole wide world, called Marula Lane, is that there is a breeding herd of Impala, and there is a female that has been spotted, and she's got horns. How unusual. So I'm going to drive extra slowly, and we're going to see if we can find her. This is not the herd, but I have spotted, because I'm such a great safari guide, 2 male Impala. Yeah. Look at all the exciting things you'll see if you come on a game drive with me. No. So these boys have separated. We're not actually too far from that big open plain where we see about 40 Impala rams all hanging around together. The largest bachelor herd of rams or of Impala rams I've ever seen in my entire life. And these fellas are just standing here. They're with the zebra. They're forming their own club. I feel a bit like James Hendry right now. Every time we put a animal on camera, they are defecating or urinating. The zebra just did it, and now the Impala's at it too. Thank you very much. That seems to be James' luck. He always has that happen. Looks very proud, that Impala. The way he's sort of got his neck quite stiff and his back almost looks like it's arched. Maybe it's not a friendly conversation these 2 rams are having. Vic, just going back to, of course, the Impala, but talking about that ewe that has the horns, definitely, it's most likely a hormone imbalance. Something along those lines, something went wrong with the genetics, probably pertaining to the hormone, where that's happened. It's actually not that uncommon. They've cited females with horns in the Sabi sand, I believe in Madikwe, and I'm sure that there have been a few more, but they've just been overlooked. Impala ram just having a quick scratch between the eyes. Off they go. Right, we're going to carry on now, but I'm going to keep an eye out for them. She's been hanging around here, but the herd that she's with, it's quite a big herd. She's quite nervous, but she is easy to spot, because I know that Londolozi has been seeing a female Impala with horns, and her horns sort of curve up quite nicely, but they're quite slender. This one's horns sort of go down, like if you were to have pigtails, something like that. So I haven't seen her yet. She was seen very briefly yesterday, so I thought, why not come drive around here and have a look. Very interesting to see a strange anomaly like that. But anyways, so every Impala herd we see we shall stop at, but don't fly away. No, it flew away. Hornbills. Come and have a nice dust bath on the road, please, in this lovely golden light. Birds do not like me, they do not cooperate. Oh, what I did see this afternoon was a kukul. That was cool, very briefly. It was quite nice. Okay, I see another Impala up ahead. We shall approach slowly, not to startle anyone, and see if there is a herd with it. I can just see one individual for the moment, which I'll show you in a second. There's one ram there. Oh, okay, here we go. This could be her. There's some females, but I don't know if it is the herd. So I'm just going to go up a little bit, and then I'm going to stop, and then we're going to do a little scan. I don't want to get too close. No, don't run away. Just stay there. Everything's fine. We're not a leopard. All is calm. Just reassuring them. Not that they can understand what I'm saying. Of course, I drove over a stick. I'm going to stop here and have a look. We shall look at this breeding herd now and see. Where's the little one? I stop it. Okay, small breeding herd. Definitely seen a ram with nice thick horns. Ewes that typically do not have horns. You can see some youngsters in there too from last season, or from this season. All flittering their tails. Ooh, flies must be biting terribly today. Look at them all, not enjoying themselves. There's the big ram. I don't see a female fitting the description that I was given. I was also sent a photo. Very interesting. Okay, so it's not this breeding herd. Shall we move on to the next one? There's a whole bunch of Impala herds that sort of live amongst here and keep moving around. It's prime property. Lots of nice grass. Leopard Dam just up ahead. They've got trees to browse on. It's Impala paradise. Right, we're going to carry on. We'll search for that female to see if we can find her. Otherwise, next time you see us, we'll probably be at the lions. Off you go back to Djuma, who was just laying amongst his big cats.
Welcome back again, everyone. We're still here with the lions, still lying exactly the same way when you left. They haven't done anything yet. Well, this pride actually knows them. They can sleep for a very long time, and also that's why, because they can cover a long distance over the night. So I don't blame them to see them lying flat like this. This is a mountain pride, by the way. They've been here for many, many years. We actually have 2 adult lionesses here, which is a mother and a daughter, and we have 4 of the youngsters here. Each lioness have 2, but they are actually sabarat, not cubs anymore. So we have 2 young sabarat and 2 female sabarat, so which is very good match. So as you can see, this area, we call it Mountain Pride because this is very close to Mountain Lodge. This is where this pride belong to this area. And also we have North Pride, also in the northern part of reserve. And also we have pride, call it Bayala Pride, because in the area call it Bayala, so that's where they were introduced. So like this pride, they've been a very long time here. These are the pride was started here in Phinda, but generation to generation been always been sending to other places, like we trying to get a new genetic in the area, especially for the males. And also we have 2 brothers of the males with this pride, which they are not here at the moment. And they can also cover long distance to try to check other pride. So they have a huge territory to make sure no other male around into their territory. As you can see, these ones just lying flat here. Look like last night they might be caught something, and because one of the young males has got like quite a full belly. She must be being a dominant by the time, whatever they caught, something smaller probably, because not all of them full bellies. Because what lion does, whoever gets first, especially for these young males, they were trying to dominate. So I missed the question there. But if I'm not mistaken, Rhoda, that let's come from Rhoda. Rhoda, I get right to your question now. So I've seen a while ago at one of the male lion in the same pride. It was also a mountain pride, and we think he got kicked by a zebra or giraffe, and he lost his canine teeth. It is causing sometime an infection, but it will eat. But it won't be like as normal. It will affect quite badly if they lost their teeth, and if that's one of the reasons. Because most of the lion, the age the age of the lifespan, normally they will die with all their teeth, unless they got a problem with the other wildlife, like I mentioned earlier, for like a zebra or giraffe kick them. And so, yes, they can get affected, Rolla. looks like they're not actually planning to go anywhere, these lions, for now. And so we'll stay here and see if we come across any lucky. Maybe they will start move around. And in the meantime, we'll send you across to Steve with the bedding in Djuma. Just enjoy the guys.
Are indeed doing some birding. They've got some wonderful oxpeckers, red-billed oxpeckers, that often will nest in and around watering points. And you'll often, if they're not nesting, you'll often find them hanging around watering points in the early morning and the afternoon, waiting for the animals to come closer, and then they can go land on them. Because obviously oxpeckers are tick eaters for the most part. And the red-billed oxpecker is a bit of a gleaner. They really comb through the fur of the mammals that we have, generally preferring the longer-furred mammals such as kudu, Ngala, Impala. We do find them in buffalo, of course. And the yellow-billed oxpecker is also very commonly found on the bigger guys such as giraffe, rhino, and buffalo. But you can find the red-billed on them as well. And this fellow's doing a bit of grooming. It's important to look your best. Valuable cleaning the flight feathers. Grooming the flight feathers makes for more efficient flight. It's like servicing one's car or keeping your wheels pumped. Any bad performance in anything has a negative impact on your fuel, which costs money. Can I move forward there, Darby? A touch. Just move forward one touch. Get that other fella there. Good. Hope that makes sense. So if your flight feathers are a little bit out of sync and not zipped in properly, then it influences the energy that you utilize and it wastes energy. So it's best to have everything in top performance. Kevin, you want to know if we have honey guards in the area? Well, we definitely do. I've heard and seen the great honey guard once. Yeah, seen him once. I've heard them many times. They make this very nice Victor sound, and they are around. I haven't seen many, and I haven't seen the lesser honey guard in this area, or the streaky. What's the third one? There's another one there, which I've forgotten. I've seen up in the Kruger, up in the northern Kruger. But here we are at a wonderful watering point. I'll double check for you. We thought we'd get a few birds at this watering point, which we have done over the many days we've come here. But today, it seems like everybody's gone elsewhere. There's a party somewhere that we don't know about, Darby. Okay, let me just check. Honey guards, which the other one's called. Scaly-throated, that's right. Scaly-throated is seen right up in the north of the Kruger, up in a very nice place called Porphyry in the Fever Tree Forest. Awesome, awesome place to be. Okay, so now we spent a lot of time on Mobile now this afternoon trying to figure out where this pride of lions has gotten to. And they're in somewhere in here. They haven't come out. We've done another loop around Baboon Pan. One-eyed pan. This is our third loop of this pan today. We came here this morning. And I tracked the lions to where they left the cubs, and then they picked up the cubs, and then they moved again, and then there was another movement of cubs, and I do track, but sometimes I'm not the best. But it is an art, and it is a skill, and it's something that needs to be practiced. But it's getting to that time of day when the lions would get up and start moving, ideally to a watering point like that. This section of the block is quite big to where we had their tracks, but it narrows quite a lot just up ahead. And at least two lionesses came onto Djuma at the top towards the Gari Gate, and then they came back again. And somewhere along the way found the cubs, moved the cubs, And trying to figure out then where they've gotten to has been a little bit of a conundrum. Let's quickly send you over to andBeyond in Ngala.
No. There's a leopard there. Just moved into the bushes. Sean and Barney found him on foot, so they were walking around here at Clara Dam, and he literally just walked straight past all the elephants. I can see the white tip on his tail still from this side, but there is Odie. He's marking his territory. There we go. Straight past. No, left. Yeah. To that. No. Far right. Go right. Right. A little bit more right. Okay, from that bush, more right. Okay, there. It's right in the middle of your screen. Zoom. Left. There he is. You can see he's sitting on the game path there. Oh, we've been driving around now. A big boy. Can't see. I haven't even taken my binoculars out, but big male leopard. So most probably Tambuti Tom, I think. Oh, even from this side. I'm saying leopard number 5. Ooh. Quite fun though. We've got a hippo, breathing out. Might actually be my Koti male. It's tough to say from this direction. Really, we'll see now if he turns around and the tail. See how he's sniffing. Another dad joke. Gremlin General saying, "Ha, he's spotted." Absolutely. Oh, okay. Well, and then of course we've got a few elephants here as well. We might lose a leopard now. For that, to try find him again, we have to go all the way around to the other side. It looks like he's steadily mobile. So what actually happened, Barney and Sean found him on foot and he was lying down on a termite mound. Then he heard a crack of a branch from these elephants making their way through and he started walking. So we were driving around, trying to find him. So we made our way back to the dam, Clara Dam. Then Barney said, "There, leopard." And then we had to race. And then, of course, luckily, just saw a glimpse of him. Very small elephant baby. Facing the wrong way, not facing the water. Trying to probably eat. She is resting the one foot. Maybe stepped on a thorn. Actually, that foot does look... No, there he goes, walking perfectly fine. Oh, what a day. Very peaceful here with all the elephants. See there. Tarek saying, what an amazing sighting, even from such a distance. I agree. Sometimes, it's nicer to take in the whole big picture rather than try get everything, close up. And that's quite nice. Odie's zooming all the way out. You can see 5 elephants. Just moving off now. You can see the ends of their trunks are all wet, so they've definitely taken a drink. But now it's time to go and feed a little bit. So one here at the back, the one we focused on now, she looks like the matriarch. If you had to guess which one's the oldest ones, just see the indentations of the temple. It's actually quite nice now with the sun coming from the front. See, it's quite deeply indented. So she looks the oldest. She's also got a collar on. See the one thing above her head. That must have been put on ages ago. Of course, just for research purposes, they wanted to figure out how far these elephants will move, and it's good to put it on the matriarch because everyone follows her. You can see the little thing on top of her head there. Gorgeous animals. A beautiful light now on them. She's not done drinking. Still needs a few sips, and there she goes. No sound at all as they walk. Could hear them drinking. But when they start walking, the softly padded feet are so quiet. But how's that? Within 100 meters of each other, there was a leopard and 5 elephants. And then a hippo nostril pops up every now and then as well. Quite a fun afternoon, or actually quite a fun day, really. Those have the most saggiest bottoms. A very peaceful spot to come spend the afternoon. Sounds like everyone's just had literally a phenomenal day. But for now, we're going to send you back over to Taylor, who's just caught up with her lions back on Pridelands.
We have been saving the sighting until the sun started to set, which it has. So we have arrived back at the scene where we've pretty much been for the last 24 hours. But you can see a lion on the left and a dead buffalo on the right, in case you have just joined us for the first time. So let me do a quick sighting sort of update. Essentially, there are 3 lions here, 2 young males and a very young lioness. And we don't know who brought it down, but there's also a dead buffalo. So between the 3 of them, they managed to capture some dinner, and they've done a really good job at devouring it. You can see the buffalo is now not in the same position as it was this morning. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. My allergies are really bad at this time of the year. And they've eaten a fair amount of it. They've actually pulled back the skin and exposed the ribs. The carcass is disappearing quicker than I thought it would. But that also might be because some vultures came down and gobbled up on it. We didn't sit with the lion or with this carcass the entire day, so they could have gone for a bit of a snooze. And now this young male on the left-hand side is on guard duty by the looks of it. So this is a male that we didn't see this morning. He was sort of hiding in the bushes. We saw the other male that has an injury. So this is the slightly more timid male. He's just sort of sitting up, so we've parked it quite a distance away, hoping that he is going to relax quite nicely. So we think we're like, well, I say this, but I'm like 85 to 90% sure that these are the young males from the Ngala Pride, which is the name that we have given to the pride of lionesses that move around here and on Kwenga and on Jajani and possibly even push into Kasiri every now and then. But it's quite a big pride of lions. So he's just resting up at the moment. And I'm sure you'll all be happy to hear that the hyenas have also still surrounded the lions. They're just fast asleep in the long grass. And we'll try and get a view of them at some point. But when we arrived, they all sort of poked their heads up. So hopefully they're going to start waking up too. And let's see if they're brave enough to push these cats off of their meal. Nirvana girl, I completely agree with you. I can also never get sick of lions. They're my favorite big cats. And what would be a really nice treat is, obviously, after you've gorged yourself full of buffalo, you must be quite thirsty. And the dam is not too far away. It's 150, maybe 200 meters away from where we sit right now. So I hope that they do decide, as I say that, no, he goes even flatter, to go and have a drink of water. But someone will have to stay at the carcass all the time, otherwise those hyenas will come in and they will just completely eradicate everything that's left. So best that doesn't happen. He's almost invisible now. You drive right past him. Just his ear sticking up above the grass. I suspect that the rest of the lions might be lying underneath that African wattle. So just behind the buffalo and between the male lion, there's a fairly green tree. It's quite shady in there. So I think that that's where the other male lion and the young lioness are just lying up. But it's all very quiet for the moment. It'd be nice to hear some vocalizations, even if the hyenas don't charge in. It'd be good to just hear them. Also, Gert, I've figured out why the elephants were here last night. Look at, it's a very popular rubbing post, this marula, that's not a marula tree. It's a velvet leaf corkwood that the elephants have pushed over. And you see all the mud smeared up on the branch. We had a couple of elephants come through, and I was wondering, what are they doing here? And this must be a normal route that they walk after they finish drinking or wallowing at Leopard Dam, and then they come through here and have a bit of a scratch. Now, actually, while the lions are flat, you can see, I was trying to tell you about the berries that the velvet leaf corkwood has on them, and you can see the little berries just on the edge of the branches. They kind of remind me of caper berries, the sort of way that they look. Not particularly big. I've never eaten one. They're supposedly edible, but I won't be climbing that tree to get one. Nice. But we'll have some more time to spend with plants, of course. Unfortunately, all the leaves have disappeared off of most of the trees. Anyways, our lion is just looking around now. I'm also just keeping an eye out to make sure that one of the other cats don't slink away to go for a drink. All very quiet here, though. Except it started to... Excuse me. My apologies. I was going to say that it's getting quite chilly, and we'll have to put on some more clothes. Right, I think I might try and get a better position. Off you go across to Ngala, to Rowan, where the leopard is slinking in the grass.
So we came around and we've managed to catch up with this young male, and it is Makoti male. Not quite as big as Tambuti Tom though, yet, which is of course his dad. And so we're just slowly following him. So he's not scent marking or anything, but he's definitely walking through all the bushes and just trying to sniff. So he goes to every large tree and he just sniffs at. He also looks up the tree, maybe looking for vulture nests, who knows? That is what he's known for, notorious for. I'm going to stop right there. It's quite a nice view. There's just this leopard walking away through the long grass. See the white tip on the tail? You'll see every now and then he raises it up high, and it might be a sign that there are some of these franklins or spurfowls around in the bush, that he just doesn't want them to alarm call at him. Just saying that his presence here is not a threat to them. See, looks like he's making his way to another tall tree. We'll just try to figure out a way around it to try and meet him. Oh, he's actually going towards a termite mound. I'm going to take us to the right, not drive right on his tail. Okay, now he's changed directions a little bit. He'll still go past the termite mound. It's actually quite nice if he goes right on top of it. Oh, do you just mind these branches? There we go. I hope you all feel like you're on safari with all the branches on your faces as well. Oh well. This gets better and better and better. Oh, here he comes. He's on our left now. James asking if leopard cubs and young leopards share the same marking as their parents. So James, similar traits, of course, but not the exact same marking. So literally, I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, but every leopard has different spot pattern. No, the saying goes, a leopard can't change its spot. Sorry, not that saying. Anyway, so every single leopard is like a fingerprint, has its own unique spot pattern. So even though, he might have similar patterns to Tambuti Tom or similar spots here or there, he will definitely have his own scent or spot pattern. What he's doing now is sniffing the tree, and it might be that another leopard, either female or male, has scent marked here. And now he's just trying to determine who it is. So it might be his dad, it might be Ngala female, who we left a little bit earlier, it might be a different female from the north. Who knows? He'll be able to tell. I'm pretty sure he'll know the scent of each individual leopard here. of course, we tell them apart by looking at them and or seeing them, especially even seeing their tracks. They'll tell each other apart very quickly by the scent. See, he is very aware of this area. This is where Sean and Barney were following tracks of the Pride. So maybe you can even hear them here. Oh, that sun on him is just beautiful, isn't it? There he goes. Past the termite mound. Oh, bless you. That's interesting. That was a bit of territorial marking. So he's almost getting to that age now where and Ngala saying how gorgeous and handsome he is. And Ngala, I agree with you 100%. Odie, I'm going to take us through here on the left. Wish me luck. And then from there, I don't know where I'm going to go. But luckily, I mean, he's not running away from us. Oh. He's just walking. So, of course, he's very, very used to us. Indeed. Sorry, Odie. Pass you that thing. Got it? Oh, it's tough to maneuver here. There's a lot of big fallen over branches. We might just pop over one. Actually, let's take the route to the right. So this is why it's so easy for a leopard to disappear and get away from us. Even though it's not running, it's not trying to disappear or get away from us at all. But if he just keeps walking into longer and longer and thicker grass or thicker vegetation, well, I've struggled quite a bit to find him. It's very good for the paintwork of the vehicle. Don't know if you heard the scratching. Take it, none of you will ever trust me to drive your car. Okay, well, here he is. Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly pop over here. He's lying down now. Quite interesting, and you have a beautiful view of his face. Sorry, Odie, I'm gonna take you past the sun quickly. It's the first time he's actually relaxed and he's not walking away. See that beautiful face there. So still very pink on the nose. Like this morning, like the youngsters we saw, just a sign that this is a young leopard. Gorgeous indeed. Also being irritated with flies, just like the Ngala female earlier. Yeah, that's why he's shaking his head like that. Now it looks like he's ready to sleep. He's decided he's walked far enough. The direction he's looking now, earlier on when we were driving, we stopped quickly. We thought we heard a lion contact calling in that direction. We stopped a little bit late, so we could be mistaken. It sounded rather far away. Definitely having a snooze. Aviv, who's 10 years old, is asking, what is the most common place to find a leopard? Aviv, well, today, definitely andBeyond in Ngala. I mean, this is number 5. But usually the Sabi sand is really renowned for leopard. Emma's saying I'm very humble. Oh, big yawn. Look at those beautiful teeth. The Sabi Sands is really renowned for leopard, and that's just south of actually Djuma. It's part of the Sabi Sands. They're not too far off from that area. They are known to have a lot of leopard. Okay, there he goes. No time for a long snooze. So that tail is exposing the white. So definitely not hunting. Just walking around for now. Not trying to hide or trying to stalk anything. He's just having a nice stroll through the bush. Such a magnificent cat. Dinner. Okay, it sounds like Steve is looking at a whole herd of Impala, so we're going to send you over to him on Djuma.
Thanks, Sharon. Well, we hoped there was a leopard in the long grass. These Impala males, they do this alarm calling. You can hear it. And then they chase each other around. It's kind of like a displacement when they fight. They're like alarm calls so that their friend who's trying to fight them ends up leaving him alone, and then they look left and right. That loud sound. They're very on edge, though. When we found them, they were running around chasing each other, and now they've been looking. But we're not able to spot anything. That is the issue, I'm afraid, with rutting Impala. There we go. These boys are going now, Darby. Oh, there we're going to go. It's like a bar fight. It just suddenly kicks off. It's ridiculous. They're pretending that nothing's happening. They can't go close to each other, these boys. They are so highly testosterone driven at the moment that they keep this distance between each other. And then they alarm, you see. It's the displacement that they do. They alarm, and everyone looks away, and then suddenly they just try and smash each other. It's really quite funny. It reminds me of my brother when we grew up. He always try and distract me in some way and then smash me on the other side. I love you, Greg, if you're watching the show, by the way. Do learn a lot from our siblings, don't we, everybody? There's life lessons early on in life. Now, we were expecting Shadulu to pop out in this sort of area, so these guys are really confusing us right now. But watch, it's going to happen again. They're pretending there's something around, and then next thing, I've missed the majority of the rut. First time in, I think, about 5-6 years. So it was nice to see that little chasing match there. I'm going to just keep quiet for you so you can hear these noises. Those guys are really looking over there. Those guys are really... Excuse me. These two are really looking, unless they are just pretending. Oh, Clutch, what's going on with you? They are really looking, and one's having a poo, so he's not really looking. The other two are. Right in here. This is a very nice area for Shadulu. And if she gets spotted, or they get spotted, they normally slink away. They normally slink away. But I don't see anything. This means they might be playing us for a fool. It's all right, it's an open enough area. We rely quite heavily on animal alarm calls to find animals. And during the rutting season, when those guys are going crazy, it really does throw you for a loop because they're not that reliable. They do a lot of it, as I said, to distract their opponent, and then when the opponent's not looking, we'll give them one of those. Dave and I were just laughing about it before, watching those boys run around. It's all testosterone, you know, trying to be the dominant boy. Oh, very good. Well, it sounds like Taylor's lioness is still eating the buffalo, so let's send you back over there for their meal.
Fast asleep. Steve, I hope you find the leopard that's causing a bit of a stir there. But our lion has not awoken, unfortunately, nor have the hyenas. It's actually very quiet, and the only thing that was awake was a vulture, but it's now flown away. So we're here just sitting, watching sleeping animals, which is making me start to feel a little bit tired. No, I'm just joking, that was all fake. I'm not tired. I'm ready and raring to go. Are you, Gert? No, he wasn't paying attention. Just having a laugh. But the sun is setting and the temperature is dropping, so I think that we're in for another freezing cold evening. And it must be quite chilly for these cats and hyenas being on this drainage system and so close to Leopard Dam. I can't imagine that it must be warm at all. But I think that they've been feeding for most of the day. Just by the look of that male lion's tummy, it seems that he has been feasting, so he'll probably sleep much throughout the evening, maybe. It hasn't been particularly warm today. It warmed up a little bit, and then that's it. So I mean, he could have fed, but like I said, the carcass has been devoured. So I think they must have ended up feeding on it after we left them. Oh, he's waking up now. He's grooming his paws. Was it a fake groom? He's doing a little bit of a stretch. And you can see that he is nice and full. Where are your buddies? I haven't located them just yet, but like I said, we repositioned and he allowed us to come a little bit closer, but I really don't want to push my luck and frighten him. So we won't be doing anything like that. Can we have a look at the carcass? Because it's going to start looking quite gross, I think, from tomorrow. Already you can see the flesh that has been exposed to the sun is starting to turn black in color. Lots and lots of flies hanging around there. So I think we'll see maggots soon, maybe tomorrow. We had a look, but we couldn't see any maggots this evening. I'm not going to lie, my stomach has actually turned a little bit, but not because of the smell of the buffalo. It's actually not bad, or the sight of it, but I definitely bit into a velvet-leafed corkwood berry, and I don't know how I feel about that. That's made me feel very nauseous. But anyway, so I won't be doing that again. Oof. But look how the skin is just actually folded back off of the buffalo. Like peeled away. That's why I'm wondering if the vultures haven't come to feast on this buffalo at some point. It looks like they've eaten a lot, and I don't know if those lions would have eaten that much. I think that they left it unattended, and a few of those scavenging birds managed to get a beakful. But they didn't even try and hide it. Or they tried to hide it a little bit. They've actually dragged it underneath a tree. So, not that it's got any leaves on it. Not really doing much. Not exposing much at all. I mean, not covering it much at all. I think we might be having some technical issues. I do apologize. I've just lost the call with the directors that are sitting in final control.
Termite mound, where it is now. So what we're going to try do very quickly, I don't know, maybe it was a warthog that ran into the termite mound. The inside now he's just waiting for it to come out. Maybe. What we'll try do is actually reverse out of here and see if we can get a view from the other side. This should only take about 10 seconds. Be very, very quick. But you can see all his attention is focused on the right-hand side. So very, very focused. But it was, I mean, we've been slowly ambling along, you know, slowly following him. And then, boom, just this rapid burst of speed. And he ended up here. It was just a beautiful view. I mean, this is exactly what you want from a leopard. How's that, AD? Absolutely gorgeous. I don't think he was chasing a warthog. It doesn't look like it if he had to. So yeah, again, apologies for, you know, just crashing away from Taylor. It seems like the communication's a little bit down where she is. Just apologies for taking you away from that. Pretty sure we'll send you back over there shortly. But for now, how is this view? Wow. I think whatever he was chasing might have ran away in the direction that he's looking. We were discussing it earlier that, you know, it's been such a long time since we've seen him actually eat an impala or something substantial, something a little bit bigger. But saying that, I mean, we haven't, you know, it's not like we've been seeing him every day. But he's at that age where he'll actually irritate the Ngala female, you know, and try bump her off carcasses and steal carcasses from her. But otherwise, still in very, very good condition. Doesn't look like he's starving. Nice shot, actually. You can see the fly just below his eye. Almost looks like a grey spot. I was asked earlier if, you know, the spot pattern of the parents are the same as the youngsters or it's different. With him, what we've noticed is his spot pattern above his eye is quite similar to his dad's. Very long spots going up. But he doesn't have the same smiley face that his dad has right in the middle of his forehead. A slight bit closer to the left eye. Just listening to everything the bush is telling him. But earlier on he was trying to stalk some spurfowl. And he actually went all the way down and we lost him for a while. We could just see grass. And then the spurfowl, I don't know what spooked them, but they just flew up. And you could actually see the disappointment in his face. He just lifted his head and continued walking while he licked his paw twice and then went away. Jenny is hoping that all of you, everyone, is taking their screenshots. Jenny, you're right. That's definitely a screenshot moment. Okay. We'll search it for a while. You know, if he goes off further to the left, it might be a bit tough to follow him. There's a slight riverbed there. But we'll try to keep up with him as much as possible. But it seems like Tswalu is also with a hyena, I think also close to a termite mound. So we're going to send you over to her.
And this hyena is very nervous. It has been staying very still and just watching for quite some time. Also, I don't immediately recognize it. If you know who it is, please let me know. It also may be pregnant. Its belly is looking quite round, but it's not. It's not the I've eaten so much round. Hi. Very distinct tent-like pattern on that left shoulder that BK is showing you. It's got a very, very particular shape to the belly. It's definitely not that shape where, you know, when hyenas have eaten a whole lot, they get a very particular shape about them. Very nervous by every sound that a lapwing makes. Pseudopenis is also kind of flaccidly hanging. I just want to see if I can see very big obvious nipples or not. Difficulty sitting down too. Anybody know who it is yet? It's a beautiful pose there. This is Falco. I haven't met Falco before. So Michael Fleetwood says it's Falco. Pleased to meet you, Falco. Well, there you go. My theory of it being pregnant is the throne. He's very dark. Bless you. See, he's quite well built for a male. Much like our clan male Fika. Fika's quite a big, stocky hyena. And this guy Falco here is also quite stocky. I know that Falco was named after Steve. I'm not sure when the first time we saw him was. I'm sure Michael Fleetwood can let me know. It's almost a little bit of red underneath that ear. Maybe that is the reason for your beach ball of a belly. You've been eating, but have not distended yourself quite. I love how here's the hyena sitting and just taking in the sights, and then above, near the tree, there's a water buck just also enjoying itself, both acting as if they don't know that they're there. I don't see you, you see me. And it's always a good idea to follow hyenas if it's possible, because more often than not, they lead you to interesting places. I feel like he needs a hug. Poor monkeys were alarming at him, which is what first got my attention. Nancy, you say so fluffy? He really is fluffy. He's got quite a mohawk going on. Really nice color. Well, this was awesome. I have not seen or met a falco before. Exactly. Prashant, you say he looks a little bit red, maybe from a kill. There's definitely some red underneath his chin there. But he's got quite an orangey color to him. Especially on that mane. Quite a fluffy belly. Very nice profile there. Something about him seems very pensive. Very contemplative indeed. I suppose there's no better place to, sort through your thoughts than to look at the water and the reflection. The sun is setting. Maybe your worries are setting with it, Falco. He looks super, super peaceful. He's very tentative about anything that he did. Oh, there's a nice shot of your face. But he seems to have settled down. Very, very nice. Now is my favorite time of the drive, when the potential for predators to be found is just that much greater. I think finding falco here is a good sign. I like popping over to this side of the dam because you hardly ever come this way, and it gives you a nice perspective of these open plains. Moino, you'd like to know if he's one of the lesser seen hyenas, or have I just not seen him? In general, clan males are seen less often than females because females are higher ranked, so at carcasses and things like that, they're usually the first ones there, and at dens we see them a lot. So the clan males are usually immigrant males, except for those ones that are cubs and born into the clan, and we don't see them as often. Now, Falco is new to the clan, so I in particular haven't seen him. I've seen all the other clan males, so he's new and I haven't seen him. But the clan males in general tend to be lesser seen. There are a few that stick around quite a lot, like Comet and Saka. You see them quite a lot. But there are a few that I haven't seen in a long time, like Koza or Kikau. Even Fika, I haven't seen him in a long time. But those I know and have met several times. I'm now going to be listening out for the signs of the night. So exciting. So much potential at this time. Well, from these spots, very fluffy new falco spots for me, I'm going to send you over to Rowan, getting familiar with his leopard spots.
Okay, so our young male's he's not asleep yet, but he's resting. You can see that the ears are still twitching in different directions, so definitely taking in every single sound around him. But so far, since we've been sitting here, we've been hearing nothing else. So a few double-banded sandgrouse starting to call behind us, but other than that, nothing. No sign of lions or anything, but you can see he's taking in, see the ears turning from side to side. So definitely picking up on sounds that we cannot hear. So they're still very aware of everything around him. But beautifully just perched on the termite mound. I think we couldn't have asked for a better place for him to fall asleep. It's actually quite wonderful, the day we've had. I mean, it's just one surprise after another. And if you remember from this morning, all we've been looking for are lions, and all we found are leopards. I'm not complaining. This has been truly wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But it's quite nice that, this morning we found the two Tswalu youngsters on a termite mound, and now we get to end the day, the Makoti male, also on a termite mound. And all of these youngsters, especially even the Ngala female's youngsters, are the youngsters of the Tambuti male. So you've seen the Tambuti male's entire family now. A beautiful pattern. So Moinoi is asking whose territory is he in. So Moinoi, he is in the territory of his father, the Tambuti male. He does not have a confirmed territory yet. He's still too young. And I don't think his territory will ever be on andBeyond in Ngala. So his dad, the Tambuti male, is still quite young. And eventually, he'll be the one to kick this young male out. So it's only the females that tend to get a part of their mom's territories, but the males end up leaving. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, where he goes. If he goes east, north, west, south, where he tries to set up his own territory. So he's going to become nomadic, probably at the age of 3. And they could move enormous distances. To give an idea, Hukumuri, the male they see on Djuma, he walked through here about, 3.5 years ago. So he passed through andBeyond in Ngala and he set up territory on Djuma. So the Makoti male has got no territory just yet. But I'm hoping that someday he does. He also had a brother who we never named. His brother left probably about 5 months after their mom died, the black dam female. So no idea where he went. But shame, yeah, rather soonish. Oh, there we go. Something sparked his attention in this direction. Let's see, he might just give us a yawn. See, he's just listening to something in the distance. So yeah, Moinoi, no confirmed territory yet. He's not big enough just yet. He's getting a little bit older. Probably in another 4 years or so, he'll start setting up his territory. Of course, for that to happen, he'll have to start fighting with other male leopards or find the territory of a very old male leopard and try kick him out. So all these males, all these animals, it's a very tough life. Okay, we're going to change to infrared now. There we go. You can actually hear jackal alarm calling. Way in the distance, far in the east. But he's not looking in that direction. Oh, this looks lovely. Okay, so I think he's seen something. Let's see if he pounces. Definitely just see how he doesn't want to push up his body too high because he might be seen There he goes. But there's probably a little mouse there. So there was just something in the grass that caught his attention. But amazing to see how he changed his whole body posture. He didn't want to get too high, not to give himself away, but he definitely wanted to pounce. So whatever he heard was definitely in that clump of bush, just sniffing around. Oh, I think he might have it. Let's put his paw on something. Let's see what he brings out for us. The tail. Oh, don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it might actually be a snake. Yeah, he didn't enjoy that too much. Okay, so something there gave off a bit of, you could see how he came out there, shook his head. So it's like something gave off a bit of maybe a slight poison that he didn't like, or a bad smell. So we're going to try follow him. It's very thick in there. We'll try find our way around and find him on the other side. But for now, I'm going to send you over to Steve, and Steve will actually be able to tell you a bit more of the Hukumuri male.
Hukumuri. Was there a question about the hook? He's a wonderful male leopard. Everybody refers to him as the gangster. Came in from the west. Right at the time when I just started here. I was here for a few months. And Tingana was looking quite ill. Looking quite sort of... Tingana really went through a bad period. And it was just around the time Columba was a small little cub. And we had lots of concern. Everybody had lots of concern. Hukumuri was the what was the word? From the west, the interloper from the west. It was quite dramatic. And then he chased Asana a few times, who was the coolest, and still is the coolest male leopard in the world. And then further down south, they had an interaction, and Hukumuri nearly lost his eye, we believe, from an interaction with Asana. One of the landowners in the area is actually an eye doctor. I can't think of the word right now, but he saw the injury, and it's kind of like putting a knife into your eye. It's going to fix itself. Proper cornea laceration. But he bounced back. Then out of nowhere, he ended up with a hole in his head, which we thought was going to be the end of him. We could practically see his brain. And then that healed up. Yeah, and then he had interaction with Mwati just recently, which led to him having a little sore foot. So I found some tracks this morning of what I thought was him, due to the way that he's walking. He's got this bit of a limp still, and he's sort of favoring his back left leg over his front right leg. You know, if you're limping, if you've got four legs, you'll always sort of put one down gently and then slide the other one. The back leg, the other day when I saw the tracks, he was really favoring it. And then the tracks I saw this morning were not so bad, but still a little bit of favor on that. So if we see him again, I'm sure we will see him again. He always pops up when you least expect it. But he was dominated by Mwati. Dominated. Okay, it's nearly time for some lights. Spotlights, out we go. Was quiet. No idea why. I'm glad you all got to meet Falco the hyena. Isn't he cool? Sorry you lost us. I don't know what happened there. I was just saying before that it seems like you've met the hyena, Falco. What a legend, eh? What a cool hyena. I don't actually honestly know if I'd be able to identify him or recognize him if I saw him. Okay, spotlight is out. This is the time of day when we hope to see nocturnals, owls, genets, civets, African wildcat, leopards, lions, hyenas. We've got leopards on the list already, hyenas. I think there was lions at some stage as well. Okay, well, Trish is competing with me now. Her spotlight's out. I wonder what she can see.
I can't compete with you when it comes to spotlights, Steve, because you are in fact the Spotlight Steve. Spotlight Trish just doesn't have the same ring to it. We have an Ellie having a very awkward pee. That is a very subtle push. That is a lovely shot. It almost looks like a shadow of each other. Tusks look so similar. Oh, and there's a little one that wants to say, I want to be the third in this shot. Look how still they are. I love when they do that and you just know that they're listening. Communicating, so much chatter going on that we're not understanding, that we can't even hear or recognize. What have you guys found there? Maybe some water? It's quite high up from the water table. Oh yes, I was going to comment on that too. The light this evening is really special. It's like an apricot was dropped in the west. A pinky, peachy, perfect blush shade. And now we have these blushing elephants too. Alarm call. These guys are not reacting. It's in this drainage. Okay, they've heard it. Hang on. Steve, is that you in front of me? I think we should go back over onto Central. Whatever that animal is, either in the drainage or a little bit further on that side, because these guys, they heard it, but they're not reacting too much. You heard the initial reaction? Okay, let's turn around, guys. Let's turn around and get back onto that dam. Onto that dam wall. Let's just wave at this Ellie who wants to say hi, though. Because it just came running out of the bushes. And I was like, hey, you forgot about me. Okay. We've got to turn around and beat the crowd here, because once the Ellies get onto the road, it's going to be problematic for us to turn. I know, I see you, little one. You're so cute. It's doing a little huff. It's going... PK, I'm sorry, but please let me just look at this. It is the cutest little huffing... Oh, you want to stop now, that's fine. It was the cutest head shake I've gotten in my life. Ooh, yes, Steve has a bush baby. Let's go and have a look.
Oh, we had a bush baby, everybody. He just jumped away. Quite incredible. Bless a bush baby. Gone. They are very, very good jumpers. Very good jumpers. Very brief sighting, unfortunately. He was quite relaxed for a moment. I've had a few friends who've rehabilitated bush babies, and it's okay if you don't mind being urinated on. They like to urinate all over you. Like to hold onto your head and just pee down your back. So if you're up for that sort of thing, bush baby rehabilitation is your way to go. They scent mark through urine, so they actually urinate on their hands, and wherever they climb around in their territories, they actually leave scent behind. And so obviously, if they have been looked after by a human, they hold on to you and they urinate and they go, well, you're mine now. They're very cool animals, little galagos, galago. Very accurate in their jumping. Quite incredible how far they can jump and accurately. Enormous eyes allow them to see. Sorry we weren't able to show him to you, or her. Some Impala in the distance. Oh, the Ellies have been through here. Everybody finds that quite funny, eh? Until it happens to you. Oh, I can hear something. An elephant, maybe. I hear a branch. Maybe that was just my car. We don't like to shine on elephants, but it's nice to know where they are so that you don't drive into them. You'll see elephants with a spotlight and you just drop all the lights. They don't like artificial light. It's the same as you know, you take quite a while to adjust your eyes to the darkness. Someone comes along and shines a torch in your eyes and it's shocking. You know, it takes you all that time to regather your eyesight. You're going to be very cognizant of torches and lights. Okay, well, we're going to go up to quarantine, the open area there close to camp. Oh, it is a beautiful peach-coloured sky. Just up ahead, isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to stop here in a second. Tell me when, Darby. Just bumble along. We share the dawn with you, we share the dusk. Wonderful. Peter, you like a night drive because of the colours towards the end. Yes, indeed. And winters are an amazing time. It gets dark so much earlier. And it's so much colder. I mean, the layers that we got on now is it's quite ridiculous when you compare it to summer. But summers are a very different story altogether. I think the seasons is what keeps it interesting. It's always the same. It loses a little bit of its magic. If you hear all the time, never really lose its magic. Okay, well, Trish is following up on some alarm calls. She's an infrared as well, so let's go see if she's had any luck.
I am. Ta-da, I am an infrared. And I haven't heard anything just yet. Let's listen. Haven't heard that animal again. Alarming. So Steve, I think, is just on the other side of this drainage. Something, but it's too large. The elephants were also in this drainage, or on the other side of it. Maybe we just stand by here for a little bit and scan around. I'm feeling a last-minute leopard, but I can't be sure. It could have been Falco, too, walking through. I would like to say I'm sorry for the loss of a few feeds today. So for the moment, you've just got Steve and I. But tomorrow, all should be happy and up and running like a well-oiled engine. I think. Sure. Emma, can we please go out of IR for the sky and see how pretty it is while we listen? Go back into color. Take me into Oz, BK. Put us into color. Truly stunning. I want to. Well, those are definitely elephants that I hear. And if there was something that they saw and heard in this drainage, there would have been a lot more of a commotion. I think those alarm calls might have been at Falco. I want to just stick my nose here and have a quick look. What do you say? My gloves are on. I'm double jacketed. Let's just poke ourselves in here. So leopards are not noisy creatures. They are very silent, very stealthy. But if a hyena were nearby, like say Falco, it could be exceptionally louder. Especially if he has a kill. Hi, news flash. You'd like to know which is harder to track, a female or a male leopard? Interesting question. And this is not empirical, my personal feeling is that females are harder to track than males. That's just my feeling, and that's what I've had in my experience. Hold on, everybody, we're going over a log. Boom. And again. Boom. Okay, let's sit and listen. It's at that little pan there. Let's go to that little pan. I find that females just, I don't know, their lines of territory seem to be a little more blurred. Again, speaking from my experience, and not that I've read anywhere that their territories are, territorial boundaries are blurred in any way. Or more so than the males. I haven't heard that, but I feel that way. And in answering that question, I think it's important for me to tell you that I feel that way. Males just seem to, apart from the fact that their tracks are larger, okay, it is, I saw an eye. Let's just go down to this little pan. Dove, you say you love these last-minute searches. So do I. I really do love them. It's quite exhilarating. I think I wait for this part of the night quite a bit. I look forward to it. Nope, it's the next part. All things are different in the dark. Oh, sassy Cassie. Don't you say stuff like that. Get my blood pumping. She says last-minute chameleon. Anyone for last-minute chameleon? Yes, me, please. Let me send you over to Steve and see what he'd like as his last-minute animal. I think it's scrub hair.
Scrub hair? Well, you'd think that that would be an easy enough feat to achieve. But it's when you're looking for them, you don't find them. I wouldn't mind a last-minute honey badger. Or a leopard. Always never say no to last-minute leopard, but a scrub hair almost sounds too easy, but I haven't seen one yet today. I think they might have come out earlier, and they've gone back to bed already. They said, no ways. It was too cold out here. Winter is officially here. The longest day, the shortest day, should I say, is coming up soon. Not far away. The day I leave here is going to be the shortest day of the year, South African year, Southern Hemisphere. Winter equinox. Summer solstice for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere. How serendipitous indeed. Okay, so last-minute porcupine disease. Oh, that would be great. We see their tracks regularly, and I haven't seen a porcupine here, have I? No. In the Mara, I got a few. Their tracks are all over the place here. I've found a few dead ones here that have been eaten. Even had a porcupine foot that was left over from a leopard kill that I was trying to dry, and something came along and ate it. Yes, I had that sighting with Hukumuri, that he went into the bush and we found him with a porcupine, and the porcupine quills were sticking out of his face, out of his paw. He was enjoying it. He was munching away, very happy with his porcupine. I think they must be very tasty, but also I reckon they're full of lice and... Oh, Darby! Got a scrubby. Just off to the side here. I don't know if we're going to get him. Yeah, we had a scrubby. We had one. But he's gone. It's like our lion track day today. Now, normally they materialize in the road and they give you a bit of a hard time getting out of the road. He was on the side. Okay, well, we're coming onto a road now called Zoe's, which is a very, very popular road for our lions and leopards alike to move along. I believe it is a territorial boundary shared by Tingana and Hukumuri, and now Mawati's been walking it, and Shadulu likes to walk along it too. So, sorry if I blinded you there. There's a marula tree right at the end of this road at the junction that every cat that arrives goes and visits. MGN, you say no receding hairline jokes. Yes, I won't. I won't. I'll leave the dad jokes for another day. I don't think I've cracked a dad joke since I've been back. Those of you who have no idea what a dad joke is, I'll refresh your memories or let you know. Dad joke is one of those jokes that generally your dad tells that he laughs at, and everyone looks around going, was that funny? That's a dad joke. Dad laughs, chortles. My dad tells lots of dad jokes that he laughs at all the time. I think I might have laughed the first time I heard them. Yeah. And on that note, we'll send you over to the hero of all dad jokes. Her name is Tswalu Kalahari.
I mean, I enjoy myself a dad joke. I mean, they crack me up. My dad is particularly good at dad jokes. They make me cringe and laugh at the same time, so I take after my father. On a more serious note, I saw a sudden white-faced owl. But as soon as I said, "Ooh," it went, "No," and then it flew off. So it's going to be a last-minute chameleon for us. I can see the lights of Steve coming along on the other side of Gallagher Pan. No, don't, is he going to race me to Gallagher Pan to try and get the chameleon? It's a little bit cold. I'll have to speak to my friends of the Chameleon the Leopard type, that's the flat-neck chameleon, good one, and ask if they can make a plan for me and come out this evening. Let's see, how many minutes do we have left, Em? Oh, thank you, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Susie, you said, didn't I find two chameleons within a couple of meters of each other? I did, Susie. I think I am the reigning chameleon champ. Unfortunately, it was brought to my attention by James and Alex that is most likely because I'm the only one who looks for them. I'll take it anyway. I'll take the crown anyway. Okay, and Emma has now joined that bandwagon. That is great. Hope you all can have a cup of tea together and talk about my chameleons. That would be an awesome tea party, actually. I'd want to be invited. All right, moment of truth, my friends. We are almost here. Ooh, Emma is on fire on her birthday. She's being sassy in my ear. Ta-da! Wow, Chameleon, I didn't expect you to be out. It's quite cold. It's not going to be the best view in the world, but I think I can be forgiven. Oh, it's actually not bad. Can you see it there, BK? Okay, we're going to have to play a game with BK, everyone. BK can't see it yet. Can you? So I'm not actually spotlighting on it. I'm using... You've got it. Further in. And it's now on the right of your screen. Top right. Middle. Bottom right. Ta-da! Yep. You just need to, it's behind that leaf though. Okay, let me. You got it? Yay, I love playing this game with BK. Not the best view, but still good. Let me reverse a little bit, because there was a better gap. You think you can stay on it, BK, so then we can just reverse so that we can get a... Up? Up, up. Oh, there we go. That's a nice one right there. No, you're there we go. Ta-da! Alright, now I need to turn the car off. Whoops. There we go. Couldn't do it by arm. Ah. There we have it. After much playing around, I'm sure you guys didn't spot it initially as well. Some of you must have, though, and I'm sure they'll get a gold star. But there it is, our chameleon friend being very nice to us. Just gorgeous. Oh, well, it's just awesome to take you guys through from the big animals like elephants all the way down to chameleons and birds and all things beautiful and natural. If you enjoy coming on safari with us and you enjoyed today, please do go to our support page. There should be some information coming up on your screen soon. And help us continue to do what we do. There we go, Sassy Cassie. A chameleon for us all. Because of your inspiration and you reminding me that I can also look for a chameleon. I'm glad. So we had an awesome drive. I know we lost the other feeds just at the end, but everyone will be back in action tomorrow morning, and we still had some wonderful content from them. So firstly, happy birthday, Emma, from everybody, and thank you guys for your questions and your comments. See you in the morning.